Hello, buddy. I hope you can see me. This is Robert Hollis, doing my very first live when I'm actually promoted it. So I'm looking at everybody here. I guess someone's got to tell me, hey, you can see me okay and everything's okay. You can hear me all right. Um, Hello, Vernay. Hey, Matt. How are you? Hi, Craig. Hi, Doctor. Hi, Jareen. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Decided for the first live. Yes, you can see me. Can you hear me? Thanks, Matt, for posting that on there. It's like, that's great. Okay, great, 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 great. Now, hello, buddy. This is Robert Hollis. I hope you're having a wonderful and blessed day. And this is our very first video that we're doing on mastering the science of getting rich. What I'm doing here is I'm going to try to figure out how to share my screen if I can do that. And you guys will see I posted a link that up there. I redid and went through all the videos. What I did is I actually took a video, and what I do is I listen to it while I was reading it and I'm scrolling it. So you'll see all of those that are brand new up there. I believe that I put a new one with Oprah there as well. And so what I'm going to do is teach on mastering this, but also with the mindset of using this as a gift, using the law of reciprocity. Because when you use the law of reciprocity, it doesn't work sometimes, it works all the time. And I would say to people, the only way that this won't work on for you is if you just don't like people. So I always tell people it's really hard to love people if you don't figure out how to love yourself. And so when you say to people, hey, listen, you know what I mean? Would you be interested in helping people become more fulfilled, more happy, more successful in every way? So, the science of getting rich just doesn't have just to do with money. But one of the things that a lot of people really miss, and they need to change the thought pattern immediately, is that, oh, the money is the root of all evil. When in reality, you guys got to understand that money's pretty damn important. I love that statement that I heard years ago, where money isn't everything, but it's just right up there next to oxygen. And it's like no one really, really, really wants to admit that. But when you realize that, it pays for food, it pays for water, some necessities in the world. It's like, it's for mortgage, it's for rent, right? It's for utilities. People, like to have a roof over their head, and they also like electricity. You know what I mean? They also like natural gas to cook things and warm the water. And so I think a lot of times we make money, not only the thing that makes things rough on us, because like I've shared with a lot of people, mastering the science of getting rich is what if, again, money doesn't buy happiness, but neither does poverty. And so one of the unique things about the science of getting rich is it really helped me. It really helped me with this thought where it switched my paradigm. And the paradigm was, what if you want to be super, super, super healthy? Super healthy. I can guarantee you that if every one of you all of a sudden seen $10 million in your bank account and you found out that it was really yours, I can guarantee you that you will do stuff for you and your family uniquely different because of money. So when people say that, money's not that big a deal, why would I want to study on how to be rich? When you realize immediately that as soon as you have money, that you would start eating different. You would start buying different groceries. Why wouldn't you hire somebody? Hire somebody that not only knew how to do proper shopping, but also knew how to cook. Wouldn't it be neat to have a person that shopped for your groceries and actually cook for you and your family? Even if it wasn't for every day, maybe they would come over and prepare meals for a week for people. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff, that deals with that health, maybe a personal trainer, maybe a spa, maybe, a sauna, maybe an infrared sauna. See, you really get to start thinking a little bit. There's a lot of alternative health things that a person can go and use instead of going underneath to where the insurance says, hey, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And so I really wanted to just come out and do this very first one and share with you some of the stuff that we're going to be covering on a week to week basis. I will figure out today how to share my screen so that we not only can I see a bunch of people that are posting on here, but I also want people to be able to ask me questions. I always like interacting with the people that are following me to really help them get through the blockages that are blocking them. If you guys seen the AMA that we did, I think it went 3 hours. I love doing that where people reach out and ask me, I'm having a little problem with this, or I'm having what would be your solution to this and that, right? So it was amazing yesterday when I did all the videos because I got to go through it again. I go through it all the time, but it was neat to listen. And while the audio was going, I was going line by line by line. And, I can't say to each and every one of you how many times I've gone through the science of getting rich, but every time I go through it, bam, 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 because you become a different person as you apply the things to the science of getting rich. So, a lot of people think that, that it wouldn't help with relationships. I mean, some people would love to go to therapy and not only have money to go to therapy or maybe to a retreat, to work on your relationships, to work with anything that you want. So my goal is, why would you want to master the science of getting rich? Well, like I said, with relationships, the big key to money is the other thing is called freedom. Freedom. And so, a lot of people always want to understand, how do you make things better? How do you make relationships with the people that you love the most more significant, more in depth? And that's by spending time with them. We all know this about, your spouse or your significant other, that you always talk about that second honeymoon or doing something like that to get closer. But also you need time, you need money to be able to take care of the people that normally rely on you if you took that kind of time off. And one thing that reminds me is my son and I went to Seattle. We went there to get Dr. Amen to actually do a mind map of us. They actually scan your brain, and then after they scan your brain and look at it, they tell you what you need to do to make your brain healthy. Isn't it crazy that we think about our body, but the brain is pretty important. And when they can teach you how to do stuff with that, again, this all takes time. This all takes money, right? So what would be another area of your life other than financial? How about your spiritual life or religious life? So yesterday we just spent all this time, very rarely, I think Craig told me it happens once in every 3 years or 33 years, where Ramadan and Passover and Easter all happen on the same day, and it's like all of a sudden you sit there and you think about, there's one, statement that I'll share with you on that. It's the Bible scripture that if you pull close to me, I'll pull close to you. So everybody wants to figure out what their spiritual life is or what their religious life is. And then again, it comes down to time. So if you could find a way to generate a cash flow that not only takes you out of despair, takes you out of worry, but now if you were apparently any one of those, it would be neat to go to Israel. It would be neat to go to Jerusalem. It would be neat to visit the places that, based on your belief, that you could actually hang around and spend time with the people that have spent the majority of their life, trying to do their best to master, this inner peace, this spiritual, this religious side. And I know people that, I just don't have time. I just don't have the money, to do that. But also on a spiritual side, we'll talk about another quick thing. Do you guys realize that, people hear this, but yet they don't apply it? It's like there's more joy. There's more joy in giving than receiving. And unfortunately, a lot of people are never in the position where they can take the time, do the research, find the charity or find the group of people that they would love, excuse me, that they would love not only to give money to, but also to visit. You know what I mean? Terry and I are very blessed where, I give quite a bit of money to children's organizations, orphanages, and, got to say it right. Other than orphans, you know what I mean, or in foster homes, there's kinship, I believe it's called. A lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of people, cousins, or maybe grandma, grandpa, or maybe a sibling that actually take over and raise the children if something happens to the parents. And there's absolutely nothing for them. Zero for them. So if a family member takes in somebody, I wish someone would have took me in so I wouldn't have to be raised in foster homes. It would be neat if they were financially supported, that they could take the time to give money to these families that step up, and say, hey, their blood, I'll take care of them, right? So we talked about, physical, mental, relationships, spiritual, and of course, last one's financial. One of the things that Terry and I are working on right now, when you think about it, is not only getting at peace, getting to peace, but also getting rid of stress, and a lot of that, there's not only, things that you can buy and work on being and meditation, but you can actually go out there and actually go to a retreat and hang around a bunch of people that do all kinds of very unique things to get you attached, right, to the rest of the planet. A lot of people will probably have difficulties falling in love with themselves. I tell people all the time, I'll reach out to them and just say, hey, tell me some of the things that you love. And they go, oh my God, I love my children. I love my pets. I love gardening. I love gardening. Um, Not so much on my job. I like it, but I don't love my job. And they might say, well, I love my church. I love, Jesus or God or Allah or Buddha. And it's like, I go, wow, that's really interesting because, oh, I love my spouse. I love my spouse. And I said, it's pretty interesting that you didn't say that you love you. It's really interesting that you said that you don't love you. I love myself. It's sad that that's not first on the list. Where did the paradigm shift in our mind that no, it's not okay to say I love myself? See, that's got to be something to do with the ego, edging God out. That's got to have something to do with being selfish. You know what I mean? I'm not really interested in being selfish. And so it's really crazy, you guys, when you realize that my whole life before I got introduced to this kind of wisdom, King Solomon said, God said you could have anything, and he said, I want wisdom because with wisdom, I can do everything. And it's crazy, how can you like want to build an organization of people and you can help them in all areas of your life if you won't do it for you? It's very difficult to love and be not judgmental and just meet people where they are and help them through their journey. It's hard to love people and care for people and want the best for people if you don't want that for yourself. Ouch. So you always get people all the time that they really don't understand that when you want these things for yourself, then you want them for others. So when I discovered some of the stuff I'll be sharing in this Mastering of the Science of Getting Rich, I just wanted to do a video and just share with you guys exactly what we're going to be covering chapter by chapter by chapter. And we're going to start tomorrow at the same time. And so tomorrow we'll immediately go into chapter 1. And we'll start. Not only I'll figure out how to do this, but every one of the longest chapter of the Science of Getting Rich is like, I think, 12 minutes. And so the majority of them, we can make sure that we all jump on. I'll say a little part, and then we'll record that. We'll get everyone to sit and just have like a powwow, you know what I mean? The vision community, whatever we decide to call it, where, we're all just together in a community that learn to take care of each other so that we can take care of others. Because once you get this thought in your mind, if you don't find a way to want to make money to do something great for the universe, do something great for other people other than you, then there's no reason to have money. See, what a majority of people do, and I did this. It's like people go, listen, would you be interested in learning how to do something that not only frees up your time, but allows you to help, all kinds of people, not only with the Science of Getting Rich and learning to do that, but also finding a way to actually apply the principles in the book, to actually generate a cash flow that's coming in on a monthly basis where you can retire your spouse, your parents, yourself. You really can get the things out there that are really amazing. My mentor was so great at teaching me some of these principles because he said, Robert, do you understand that there's a lot of families out there that have skinny kids? And I'm going, what are you talking about, skinny kids? Well, people say that you shouldn't have a custom home. People say that you shouldn't have a luxury car. People say that you shouldn't have a luxury plane. People say that you shouldn't travel to the most exotic resorts in the world. People say that you shouldn't buy the nicest of things. Every one of those things that are made, those resorts, those planes, those cars, they have people like you and I that work there, and their jobs are how they feed their family, how they take care of their family. So my mentor shared with me, Robert, it's not that you're buying all these incredible things or eating at these fancy restaurants. It's that you're supporting people. You got to stop thinking about, wow, what if no one buys, Teslas anymore? What if no one buys Rolls Royces anymore? What if no one wants any custom homes anymore? And you always get this mindset that I had. I used to have this mindset where, it's on Snob Hill. What do you mean? Yeah, those people live on Snob Hill. Why do wealthy people always live on a hill? I'll tell you one thing. If you live on a hill, you don't get flooded. What? Yeah. Places and properties on hills where you get an incredible view. Not the view of your neighbor's house, where you can reach across the fence and touch their wall, not a view of somebody else's back of their house. You know what I mean? It's like people on hills have a view. Property is very inexpensive when it's below sea level or below water level. So when things get a lot of rain, they're the first to flood. You know what I mean? And so all of a sudden there was like I used to say, man, those people on Snob Hill, you know what I mean? They don't need that many cars. They don't need that big of a home. What would it cost, to clean that? No, they hire people to clean it. And look how big that yard is. You know what I mean? It'd take a couple of days to mow that yard? No, they're actually hiring people that take care of that. And I was like, all of a sudden going, wow, because we do know money's the root of all evil, don't we? This is the science of getting rich. First of all, what does the word rich mean to you? R-I-C-H. See, just like almost every other word, like faith, religion, belief, love, money, every person on here, if we did an assignment and I said one word, rich, write exactly what rich means to you. And I'd like your definition of rich. Do you know that regardless if we have 41 people on here or we have thousands of people on here that will watch the videos, do you guys understand that everyone's got their own definition? Everyone has their own definition of one word. Well, maybe that's because we're unique. Maybe that's because we all have different DNA. We all have different fingerprints. We all have different irises. So why wouldn't our belief of one word be uniquely different from other people? You ever think of that? So that's why a lot of words now are being canceled, right? Oh, you can't say that word anymore because that's got a meaning that could offend somebody. And you got two mentalities with that. It's like, well, screw those people. And the other people say, wow, if I could change it from one word to another and not offend people, nah, I have no problem doing that. I would rather be in a position where I offended less people. A quick story. One time I was doing a presentation for Eric Worre, and man, that was one of those times I was on target, man. And I got done, and all these wonderful people sat and waited, shook my hand, and there was this gentleman that I think he was in his late 80s, if not early 90s. I should have asked him. And he was really polite, and he waited, and he shook my hand and had a really, really firm, strong handshake. And he said, you know what? He said, there's really no reason to swear. There's no reason to say an offensive word. And I was like in my mind just scrambling. I was going, what, I'm sorry, I don't recall. I apologize. I immediately apologize. I really apologize if I said a word that offended you. And he said, I said, what did I say? And he looks to his sides and he said the word sucks. You said a lot of people, their lives suck. And he said, there's really no need for you to use that word. And again, I could fight for the right to be right. I could be a right fighter. I could be a person that needs to be correct. I could have got my ego in the way, edging God out. I could have did a lot of things. And instead I said, you know what? Please find it in your heart to forgive me. I'll get better. And I really, really, really want to thank you for coming to me and waiting to tell me that. That's going to make me better. And so I want everyone you to know is that the number of different directions that we're going to take in the concept of mastering the science of getting rich. Because these little subjects, man, I was going, can I really do a video of just a summary of what we're going to talk without diving into it, especially when I went through it all day yesterday? And I'm pretty proud of myself. I did a good job of that. So I want each and every one of you to know that you will master this. Some of you are going to say, well, I already read it and it's over my head. And I read some stuff in it that I don't really agree with. And, I don't feel like I would feel good sharing this to people to build a bridge so people get to know, like, and trust you. It's like people do business with people they like. People don't like to be sold. People don't like to be told what to do. 87% of people are not sales types. So if you can learn to constantly be in a giving mode and constantly be in a place where you can share with people, and all of a sudden they get a little paradigm. They get a pop. I call it a pop, a point of presence, a point of passion, where all of a sudden they get a aha moment, where all of a sudden they read something, they go, whoa, wait a minute. Wait, oh, wow. It's neat to have shifts in your thinking and your belief. that are changed forever. Like one day I love sushi and now I don't. Or one day I didn't even try it and now I love sushi. So I know this is going to be unique for me doing this for the first time. It's challenging to me. I'm looking at this and I see a lot of people that are posting in here like crazy, and I apologize. We'll work it out where I can look at this and ask questions as we go through. So all I ask each and every one of you is make sure that you tune in tomorrow at the same time. That would be 1 o'clock Pacific, 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern time on this YouTube channel. And I will be jumping on here and we'll be going through the beginning of it. And we're going to do a Q&A and we'll figure out how to do it. If I can't figure it out on YouTube, we'll figure out the streaming service that will make it happen. And for those of you that might be aware, Craig jumped on here right away and he said, "Hey, Robert, we could have used Zoom and Zoom streams in there." And I know my son knows some stuff as well. So thank you so much. Thank you very, very much for being the first part of this, mastering the science of getting rich. I love and appreciate you so, so much. And do me a huge favor. I will be totally generic. You could share this with anyone that you know. But, if you took the time, not bragging, but if you took the time to Google Robert Hollis, or put roberthollis.com into an AI, I promise you, I'm known in this world for helping other people get what they want. And it's just not in the business world. So the principles that my mentors taught me help me in every area of my life. So my goal is to help you. The more people we help, the way to greatness is the service of many. And I really, really appreciate you not only being a part of it, but if you can't watch it, you can watch the replay. And I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what's going on and how this works for you. So do me a huge personal favor, share this with other people. And again, love and appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of history, because we are going to help millions and millions of people. They really, truly need it. And I'm going to share with you how I have been able to help millions of people so you could do the same thing. What I want for you, what I want for myself, I want for you. That was, what is it, Golden Jones? That was in the Science of Getting Rich. We'll cover that soon. So goodbye, everyone. We'll see you really, really soon. And bye for now.